G'day guys, and welcome back to another Prime Train YouTube video. This week we've got something a little bit different. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an insight into my life. So this week we're doing a Q&A. I know you're used to the game day vlog, but I wanted to give you guys, like I said before, a little bit of an insight into my life. I wanted you guys to ask all the questions, fitness, nutrition, just lifestyle related, whatever the hell you wanted to do. I put up polls on my Instagram and my Snapchat to give you guys any question and just free roam of whatever you want to ask me. So we're going to get through, I reckon, how many questions we want to do today, Fuse?
Let's aim for 15.
15. We're going to go 15 questions. We're going to find some good ones. We'll put them up on the screen. We'll give you guys a little bit of a shout out as well. If I pronounce any names wrong, then I do apologise. Let's go with the first one from Elkie. Advice for overcoming anxiety when it comes to sport. Much love. In terms of anxiety for sport, I think that a lot of people ask me this as well, like I'm getting a little bit nervous before a game, you know, I'm a bit anxious. For me, look, I don't play at the highest level. I mean, I play local footy, but you still get, you know, nerves before the game. So if you're getting nervous or anxious, generally what that means is you probably haven't. Well, let's flip the switch and go, how do you get confidence, right? How are you confident? You're confident from putting in the work in during the week and putting the work in pre-season, and then you get the results on game day. So I think that, to answer your question, do the work during the week, get confidence from training really hard, doing the 1% things, the recovery, you know, getting the ice baths, doing all that type of thing, rocking up 5 minutes early to footy training, staying late and working on your skills. Then when you rock up on the weekend, on game day, you're going to feel 100% confident in your ability that you're going to be right to go against your opponent and against the opposition. Hopefully that answers your question. From Owie Smith, have you ever thought about making an appearance for Elizabeth Football Club after their result? Now, for those of you guys that don't know, Elizabeth Football Club lost by 520 points. The other way. Fuse is there laughing behind the camera. 520 points. I think it was 526-0. Now, I am allowed to announce this because this video is going to be released in the next couple of weeks. I will be playing for Elizabeth against Lockleys in the Div 12 Resi's game with the Marmalade Boys. So, yes, to answer your question, Owen Smith, I will be playing for Elizabeth and I will be trying to get them back on the winners list. Hopefully, no more 500-point losses. We've done a few charity games this year and I don't really feel like doing any more. Why don't you play AFL? From Hallie Dalton. To answer your question, Hallie, I'm just not good enough. I never really was. I played high-level footy. I played VFL, I played Waffle, I played NTFL, I played pretty much all the state leagues apart from Sample. But the jump up from that league to the AFL is huge. It is a really, really big difference. You sometimes see AFL players come back from the AFL and they just dominate VFL and they struggle to get touches in the AFL. So like that sets a pretty good example that even if I have played high level and anyone else that has played high level kind of VFL or any state league footy, the next step up is going to be a big step up. So for me, in my opinion, I don't think I was ever good enough. But the idea of my content and what I do has never been to play AFL or get drafted or anything like that. It's more been to kind of showcase what it's like to play local footy, do something a little bit different and do something that's never been done before. And 3 or 4 years later, I see heaps of people doing game day vlogs now, which is really, really cool. I enjoy being able to kind of be a little bit of, a pioneer for footy vlogs and local footy vlogs. So I've been really grateful to be able to do that. But I love more and more people posting footy content. I think it's bridging the gap between the tall poppy syndrome and the footy culture, which has really beat each other down. It's good to see you guys bringing each other up, which I really love. All right, next question from Cody. What are the best in-season conditioning sessions? Bit of a tongue twister. Cody, what are the best in-season conditioning sessions? Great question, Cody. When you're looking for in-season training, I'd love to give you all the answers here for free, but unfortunately, I've got to keep food on the table. I've got to live in Bali, as you see here. And without you guys buying my in-season program, then I couldn't do what I do. So if you do want some in-season conditioning and some in-season gym programs, make sure you go check out my website and get the in-season AFL program. That is going to be one of the best programs that you can get for not only your gym and your conditioning, but it's also going to give you some nutrition stuff there as well. So make sure you go check that out on my website, primetrain.au. Alright, next question. How do you get through all the hate you receive? You're legit the most genuine person I've ever met. Thank you, Millsy. The hate for me is just part of the job. And it's kind of a good thing at the end of the day, because I say this a lot and I think it's a really hard thing for people to understand, but it builds up your resilience firstly. So anytime I get a little bit of hate, I'm like, I can get through it, whatever. I have a good balance between caring what people think and not caring what people think. That's also a really hard one to explain, but there's some opinions that should matter to you, and there's some opinions that probably shouldn't. And a lot of the time, the negative opinions that come from people are generally because they're in more of a negative mindset or they're in a negative space in their life. So they're kind of just protruding their insecurities onto you. And a lot of the time when I get hate, I always think that. I'm like, I actually feel more sorry for the other person than what I feel for myself. So that's kind of how I get through it. If you do get bullied or you are getting, teased or anything like that, I think that just going back to doing the things that make you happy, things that increase your own self-worth, they're the most important things. As long as you're happy in yourself, anyone else's opinion around you that is negative, within reason, should not affect how you feel about yourself. Last time that you cramped, what do you put cramping down to? I get asked this question all the time. Cramping is an imbalance of your salt intake or salt levels in your body. Obviously when you sweat, that's salty. If you've ever tasted sweat, it's nice and salty because that's salt leaving your body, your sodium levels. So you want to increase your sodium levels. You can do something disgusting, like put salt in your water, which I find gross. You can have pickle juice, or you can have any type of hydration. Powerade, Prime Train hydration, which as well you can check out on the website, will definitely help you stop getting cramps, and that's what I always do. Pickle juice is what I always have at 3/4 time, and I have at half time some Prime Train hydration as well. Next question. Alright, we've got so many, I'm kind of just flicking through them. Best way to put on weight, muscle while playing footy and staying fit. I think that a lot of people try to lose too much or put on too much too quickly. It's a gradual thing. Just make it a gradual thing. Don't try and change your body so quickly, because you're going to lose a lot of the things that make you good in the first place. So let's say that you're trying to put on, a lot of muscle. You might put on a little bit of fat as well if you do it too quickly, and then you lose things like your speed, your power, and your agility and all those type of things. So the best way, to answer your question, the best way to put on size and weight in footy season is pretty simple. It's eating in a calorie surplus. So let's say you burn 2,500 calories a day. I'd recommend you eat, and track it if you want, around 3,000 to 3,500 calories every single day, and look for high protein. 1.5 to 2 grams per kilo of body weight. So if I weigh, for example, 80 kilos, I'll try to be eating 160 grams of protein every single day. If you're 90 kilos, you should be eating around 180 grams of protein every single day. So that's a good way to get your nutrition in check, and it's also a good way to build muscle. High protein repairs all your muscles and it's going to make you recover faster as well. Next question, when are you going to chop the mullet off? Love it. Don't know. Fuse, when should I chop it off?
I reckon it needs to stay for a while.
Needs to stay for a while? Yeah. I think I'm getting close. I'm 24 years of age now, so I'm actually getting kind of old. I'm a bit of a veteran in the social media game. I've been doing it for 3 or 4 years now. And the mullet is definitely eye-catching and it helps my social media. So for me, I don't see it changing anytime soon. I kind of wanted to get rid of it at the start or like the end of this year, started tying it up a lot to kind of get rid of it. But yeah, I think maybe in the next 12 to 24 months is when I'm going to get rid of it. What foods did you eat to gain muscle mass and weight? It doesn't necessarily matter what you eat. It more matters how much you eat and how much protein. But in saying that, if you're going to have high protein things, let's say extra lean beef bins or chicken, they've got really high contents of protein and really low contents of fat and carbohydrates. So if you're just looking to gain muscle mass, prepare your muscles, increase your muscle mass, go for high protein snacks. There's also other protein snacks like protein bars, protein shakes. What did I have the other day? Edamame, peas as well are fantastic for protein. So there's all these other protein snacks. Educate yourself on what you should be eating in terms of protein. That is a really, really big thing. Quickest way to drop body fat, like I said before, don't do it too quick. It will become unsustainable and you'll probably just go straight back up. But if you do want to drop body fat quick, it is 7,000 calories equals 1 kilo of fat. So you have to not eat 7,000 calories under your maintenance to lose 1 kilo of fat. So do the maths there. If you burn, like I said, you probably burn around 2,000 to 3,000 calories a day. So you can't lose a kilo of fat in a day. It'll be over a week or over 2 weeks, right? That's how fast you lose it. So do the maths. See how much. If you want to lose 5 kilos, you have to do 7,000 times 5, which is what, Fusey?
Wouldn't have a clue. Don't put me on
35. 35 for sure.
I didn't even sound that.
No, fair enough. Neither did I quit. It's 35. 35,000 calories is what you have to be under your maintenance. So that's how you drop your body fat. It's all maths. Educate yourself on it and you will get good at it. Jensen Hosking, how old are you? 20. Yep, I'm 24. Fusey's saying 5 minutes to go. I agree, Fuse. I do talk a little bit too much. Coffee order from the Big Bad Fish. I'm a little bit different. I chop and change my coffee orders. I'm not like Fuse who just goes with the vanilla latte with 17 pumps of caramel every day. I go with an almond latte, small, quite enjoy that. If I'm really feeling it, I'm in the intermittent fasting grind, I like to go for a long black. If I'm with my parents, I'll just order what they order, which is a cappuccino with 2 sugars. I like sugar in my coffee, alright? I do. But yeah, that's kind of what I like. I'm going to the US tomorrow, so I'm going to load up on some frappes and frappuccinos and whatever else Starbucks has. So that's my coffee order. It doesn't stay as is. Alright, next question. Alia Derek, where is your favourite game around the country been? Far out. I feel really bad answering this question, but we know what the answer is, don't we, Fuse? But there's 2.
It comes down to 2.
Yeah. There's two of them has been our favourite, me and Fuse together, because we go to all of them together. I've loved all of them. All of them has been amazing, and I feel really bad answering this question. But the 2 favourites so far have been Phillip Island and the Mines Rovers in Kalgoorlie. What AFL team do I support from Brody? Essendon. What's my favourite colour from Oscar Doggett? Pink. There you go. You guys are getting to know everything about me. What drives you to keep working hard every single day? Love this question. What drives me to work hard every single day? I think it's the feeling that I'm doing something, that I'm moving forward, that I'm progressing every single day. I can't lay my head on that pillow until I'm happy that I have done something that day that is making me progress forward. Whether it's going to the gym, whether it's sticking to my diet, whether it's going for a kick at the footy, if it's saying no to that almond croissant, which I don't usually do, but sometimes I do try to do. If it's getting up early and not snoozing my alarm, I feel good for that day and I feel like I'm progressing, I'm getting better. That feeling in me makes me just so motivated to do it all again the next day and do it again the next day. And I keep saying to people, once you get to that 80 or 90% of how good you feel, you never want to go back down to that 60. And that's why I've stopped drinking and stopped going out, because I just feel like crap for the rest of the week. Once you get to that 80, 90% of productivity and your life and how good you feel, nothing you ever want to change. What's your set shot routine? I just practice a lot, and I don't really have one. Sorry, I know you're looking for something more there. How are you waiting? I apologise. Are you enjoying your local footy tour from Don Fraser? 100% I am. How do you feel when you hear people yelling at you from over the fence? Lily Chappie. I feel good because I have to prove myself to them every week. It does get a little bit nerve-wracking sometimes every week because there's a little bit of pressure on you to perform. Obviously the club's getting you in to play a good game. So there is pressure there, but I do feel confidence each week that I have done the work previously, like I said at the very beginning. What's my pre-game snack? I really like this question. Pre-game snack, all I do is just eat breakfast, small breakfast, and that's it. I'm done. Nothing else for the rest of the day. I play at 2 p.m. I'll eat at like 8 to 10 a.m. Nothing else for the rest. Maybe like a Gatorade or something before the game. But literally just something small for breakfast. High carbohydrates. What's your favourite thing about playing with different clubs? Meeting everyone from Dakota Smith. Alright, we've got do our last 3. Make sure that these are good. We'll make them quick fire. From Progranofound. How do you manage dealing with tall poppy syndrome to these people? That's what it is, bro. You're never going to be successful without having a few haters here and there. So that's totally fine. Here we go. Are you still sober? Good question. No, I'm not sober. I did like 30 to, I probably did 90 days, even more probably. Probably did over 100 days sober. I really enjoyed it. I barely drink anymore. I have like 1 or 2 beers every time I go. I'm a lot more controlled and concise with what I do. So no, I'm not still sober, but I don't really drink. Last question. Love it. What is your goal in life? My goal in life is to help as many people as possible get. The reason I started this was helping people. Personal training is helping people and putting a smile on their face. And whatever way I can do that, making more and more people happy, chasing their fitness goals, smiles on their face, mentally stable, productive, just happy. That's all I care about and that's all I want to do. Ladies and gents, we have so many questions. We'll get to them another time. That is enough for the Q&A this week. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. If you haven't checked out any of the previous Game Day vlogs, then go watch them. Thanks again to Fuse. Without him, we couldn't do any of this, so make sure you go follow him on social media as well. I love you guys. See you next week.